All right. What's up, everybody? This is your boy Jay coming at you live Wednesday evening here in New York. And yesterday, I left you all with a quote that Hall wrote on the wall of the maze, saying, "Smell the cheese often, so you know when it is getting old." And it is literally a message to everyone, so that we always remain vigilant and we don't get too comfortable where we are, and we're always monitoring the things. What's going on, Azran? We're always monitoring the things that are going on in our lives in regards to what we do and where we are, and we're always ready and alert to adjust to the changes and move quickly so that we can keep progressing as everything in the universe keeps expanding and fully expressing. It is our job too to allow that expansion and full expression to happen to us, to and through us as well, so that we move with the natural flow of the universal laws, um, and we don't remain stuck in our own ego and pride. So continuing with the story, sometime later, after not finding cheese for what seemed like a long time, Hall finally came across a huge cheese station, which looked promising. When he went inside, however, he was most disappointed to discover that the cheese station was empty. This empty feeling has happened to me too often, he thought. He felt like giving up. Hall was losing his physical strength. He knew he was lost and was afraid he would not survive. Don't we all feel like that when we start something new and we feel like we keep failing over and over? He thought about turning around and heading back to Cheese Station C. At least if he made it back and Hem was still there, Hall wouldn't be alone. And isn't that funny how we, hey, hey Mariana, how are you? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenida. Good to have you in our house. And don't we all embark upon something new, and the first sign of resistance we give up, and the next time, good to have you, Paul, and the next time that we go try something new, instead of jumping forward, we're like, oh wait, hold on, like I did something like this before and it didn't work out, and we pull back and we never take that leap of faith. And sometimes we do, and we are going along the journey and we find it hard to keep on keeping on, and we feel alone. And the fear of being alone also is one of the biggest fears that stops us from doing exactly what we know that we should be doing. Good to have you, Resmi. Long time no see, brother. How's everything? So let's see. Where did I leave back? Okay. Then he asked himself the same question again. What would I do if I weren't afraid? So let me ask you all, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Yeah, man, I was thinking about cheese and all that stuff, so I thought pizza was great. By the way, I'm looking forward to dropping by your location in Brooklyn, New York, very soon to have some of your slices, bro. Hall thought he was past his fear, but he was afraid more often than he liked to admit, even to himself. He wasn't always sure what he was afraid of, but in his weakened condition, he knew now he was simply fearful of going on alone. Wow. How many times do we get beat down to a pulp, and we get into these weak states, and we don't even know what we're scared of anymore because fear just grips us from all angles. And the one thing that we know for sure that we're scared is being alone. Hall didn't know it, but he was running behind because he was still weighed down by fearful beliefs. And how many of us are guilty of this, letting fearful beliefs hold us back, right? When we could release the grip that we keep, because it is us that hold on to that fear, and it pulls us back when we can just simply release it, allow it to be there, and move on. Hall wondered if Ham had moved on, or if he was still paralyzed by his own fears. Then Hall remembered the times when he had felt his best in the maze. It was when he was moving alone. He wrote on the wall, knowing it was as much a reminder to himself as it was a marking for his friend Hem, hopefully to follow. Movement in a direction helps you find new cheese. Check this out. Movement in a new direction helps you find new cheese. So just simply keep moving. If you don't know where you're going, simply put one step in front of the other, and you will for sure know whether that's the right direction or not, and you're going to be much faster at finding your path because you took that first step. And because you took it, now you know, hey, maybe this is not the right step. Then you can choose another one much faster instead of being stuck in the same place you've been stuck. Because actually, remaining the same and remaining stuck where you are is not even staying the same. It's actually being stuck in reverse. So you're going backwards. So be very watchful of that. Hall looked down the dark passageway and was a Hall looked down the dark passageway and was aware of his fear. What lay ahead? Was it empty? Or worse, were there dangers lurking? How many times do we like make these crazy stories about like dangers that are not even there, or we worry sick about things that are never gonna happen, um, only to regret not taking action when we should have, right? He began to imagine all kinds of frightening things that could happen to him. He was scaring himself to death. Then he laughed at himself. He realized his fears were making things worse. So he did what he would do if he weren't afraid. He moved in a new direction. As he started running down the dark corridor, he began to smile. Hall didn't realize it yet, but he was discovering what nourished his soul. He was letting go. Oh, there you go. He was letting go and trusting what lay ahead for him, even though he did not know exactly what it was. To his surprise, Hall started to enjoy himself more and more. Why do I feel so good? He wondered. I don't have any cheese and I don't know where I'm going. Before long, he knew why he felt good. He stopped to write again on the wall. When you stop being afraid, you feel good. Mic drop. So think about this, guys. How many times, raise your hand and say I, a la Tony Robbins, if you've allowed yourself to drift into fear and be completely gripped by all these fears and worries that are not even true, and you just kept on like basking in your own glorious fears and all these dangers, and you made this like amazing story about why you shouldn't do what you knew in your heart you should have been doing, and you make this like grand story about how everything can go wrong and that's why you're not taking action, and you are completely justified in it, only to realize that all you had to do was let go of the fear, right, and trust what lay ahead for you, even if you didn't know exactly what it was or where it was that you were headed. And before long, once you start moving, you realize that when you stop being afraid and you start moving, you start feeling good. So I'm gonna stop the story there today. I'll share more story tomorrow. But I really wanted to by the way, Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. And by the way, to wrap it up today, guys, I wanted to really invite you to think about all I've been talking throughout all the episodes in regards to the book, which was all about getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of your own way. Stop thinking the same way you've been thinking all along, giving you the results that you've been currently getting, which are results that you don't like, and allow yourself to say, hey, if my way hasn't been working, perhaps I should try another way. And just just let yourself go and trust that you are headed in the right direction and go after your chosen path, whether you are 100% sure that it is the right way or not. Hey, Felicia, it's good to have you, girl. Whether you are 100% sure that it's the right pathway or not, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you start taking action, you start moving. One of my mentors, Dan Locke, said imperfect action beats perfect action. So just perfect inaction. So imperfect action beats perfect inaction. So I encourage you all, start taking action, start feeling good, and move in spite of your fear, because once you start moving, your fears disappear. With that, guys, much love for being here with me. It was your boy Jay. Peace out, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.